The Dallas Mavericks have the formula to beat the number one defense in the NBA. The Dallas Mavericks are not a team like the Denver Nuggets or the Phoenix Suns that have one, or in the Suns' case, 0 point guards. They have two pure point guards that are absolute killers in Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, and when you piss them off, it usually doesn't end well. And that's what Anthony Edwards learned last night. He poked the bear, and the bear poked back, dropping 30 on him. The Wolves' defense is built on the swarm with Nikhil, with Ant Edwards, with Jaden McDaniels. They all funnel everything towards Rudy Gobert. It's not working with this Mavs team because they have two masters of their craft at the guard position. They honestly have too many killers, like we said. Kyrie, Luka, two absolute dogs in the backcourt. So you got to take care of them first and foremost, and then you got guys coming off the bench like Jaden Hardy who have all kinds of skill but are just sitting behind these guys, still developing, still young. Tim Hardaway Jr. is an absolute bucket. Denver, Phoenix, they don't have anybody like these two guys coming off the bench. And then at the wing positions, you got guys like Derrick Jones Jr. and PJ Washington who can really shoot the three ball and can create for their own, well, I wouldn't say really, they're average three-point shooters. And then once you think you got everything covered up, Derek Lively or Daniel Gafford is camping out in the paint, waiting for Luka or Kyrie to drop it off to him, and they do a chin-up on the rim. You got PJ, absolute corner specialist. This team is dangerous right now, and like we said, don't make Kyrie mad. Anthony Edwards called him out. After Game 7 against Denver, he said it's going to be fun, and I got Kyrie. Kyrie's sitting at home, having a nice little dinner with his family. He hears this. He probably got a little upset, and he decided to put 30 on them fools. He had 24 in the first half. Absolute clinic. I mean, let's just watch along here. He's got Nickeil Alexander-Walker on him, curls the screen beautifully, fade away, butter. He had 35 and 4 assists in 40 minutes, refuses the screen, switches hands mid-air. Oh my god, that is pretty right there. Kyrie is an absolute skilled master of his craft. You see right there with the right, left, can go each way equally as good. 12 of 23 from the field, 0 of 3 from the three-point line. Here he is, fends off the defender with his offhand on his hip, and he finishes with the left. So polished, like I said. Nice little floater there over a 7-footer. That is much, much harder than it looks. And then getting out in front of everybody and finishing over Kyle Anderson, who has a 7'3" wingspan. Not an easy finish. And then I like this adjustment that Jason Kidd makes. They start getting down a little bit, they start running a lot more, starting their offense. Again, this also had to do with the shot clock coming to an end, but those 4 points at the end of the half really helped them out. Great passer as well. They might have to adopt the strategy that the Thunder were playing, and that is running two guys at Kyrie and getting it out of his hands, make Luka beat you. But the problem is Luka beat you in this game. Both of them beat you, and a big part of it was this drop coverage. I mean, goodness gracious, Rudy Gobert got exposed all night long in drop coverage by Kyrie and Luka Doncic. They abused this. If you don't know what I mean by drop coverage, it is, as you can see right here, when Rudy Gobert is playing dropped off of this pick and roll instead of a hard hedge. Jaden McDaniels was in jail right here. He's going to have a long series if they're going to play this drop coverage, because once you get on Luka's hip, there's no getting off. He is really, really good about putting the defender in jail once you get him on your hip. Same thing with Kyrie, little floater there over Rudy Gobert. Ant Edwards never has a chance after the screen is set because, once again, Kyrie, another guy that is elite at getting you on his hip and making you stay there. And I mean, that's too easy. These are like layups for these guys. Luka finding Derrick Jones Jr. You finally get everything walled off, and then you fall asleep. Derrick Jones Jr. is dunking on you. I like the adjustment. Like I said, going fast, getting out in transition. Jason Kidd at the end of the half, really good adjustment there, really good mid-game adjustment. And then up top, this was a crazy finish right here by Daniel Gafford, getting up top, big man. But they go empty, so they empty out one side, put everybody, overload the other side, and then it's just an empty side pick and roll with the lob because there's nobody there, there's nobody to help rotate down, and it's an easy lob. And then Luka once again, Daniel Gafford, Derek Lively, feasted off of this pick and roll as well. Once again, Jaden McDaniels in jail. Once he gets you on his hip, good night. But the drop coverage just does not work. I mean, Luka cooked these dudes. This is, like I said, these are like layups for Luka. And he can kick to either corner if Naz Reid or Mike Conley steps up. If not, and Gobert keeps going back, he's got the easy pull-up. I mean, it's not easy. He's got Jaden McDaniels in his face, but for Luka, that's his shot at the free throw line area. A little step back here, and Jaden McDaniels can barely even contest. Now, the adjustment the Wolves tried to make was to blitz the screens. And this didn't work either because Luka and Kyrie are both very good passers as well, and they just carved this up. Blitzing is a huge gamble because you're running two guys at the ball, hoping he panics and turns it over, and leaving three to guard the paint. And I'm just going to tell you right now, if Derek Lively is Euro stepping and laying it up with his left hand, you are in trouble. This one right here was just terrible by Cat. He's got to get out in front and make Kyrie change directions. He did not. He didn't force him back into Jaden McDaniels, and Kyrie just goes and finishes with the left. He also had the lob there if he wanted it because Ant didn't rotate down, but Ant also has to worry about Josh Green in the corner. So the Timberwolves could be in trouble. Real quick, though, let's take a break here. Make sure to like button if you are enjoying today's video so far. We're trying to hit 100 likes on today's video. Also, hit that subscribe button if you do like these types of videos. We're making these types of videos all throughout the playoffs. And with that being said, let's go ahead and continue on here. Luka Doncic. I mean, we've talked about him a little bit so far, but the first half was the Kyrie show. The second half was the Luka show. He abused drop coverage last night. It became almost comical how many times in a row they scored off of this drop coverage with Luka and Kyrie just taking turns picking it apart. This isn't Jamal Murray. This is a 6'7", 235-pound Mack truck coming down the paint. And like I said, these two guys were in jail all game long. Once he's on your hip, it's wraps. Assist to himself right here for the layup. He finished with 33 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds, and 3 steals. Kyrie brought the energy early. Luka picked it up in the end. He looked much healthier than he has all throughout that Oklahoma City series. Extra day of rest will do that for you. 12 of 26 from the field, so it's not like he was crazy efficient, but he got the job done. Ant's too small. Little spin move right here. Lay. 15 fourth quarter points. Absolutely took over down the stretch. 19 in the second. Great pass right there. Dropping it off. Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford absolutely make a living off of Luka and Kyrie in the pick and roll. And both of them are very good at getting into the correct position. Little Gortat screen here. He kind of got trucked by Karl Anthony Towns, but Luka pulls up at the free throw line once again. Jaden McDaniels on his hip. Good night. I mean, there's probably 5 minutes of the Timberwolves getting exposed in drop coverage. They're going to have to switch something up. I don't know. I mean, you can't justify taking Gobert out of the game, but this is not like the Denver series. This is a much different team than Denver. This is a guard-oriented team. You might have to consider taking Gobert out of the game and going with Naz Reid and Karl Towns, or even going small. Derek Lively, 9 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks last night. For a 20-year-old rookie, that is crazy. Here's Luka just putting the shoulder down, getting right into McDaniel's chest. And the Mavs are also clamping, giving the Wolves a little bit of their own medicine with better defense than normal. Get that out of here, Rudy Gobert. Great interior defense between Lively and Gafford. This isn't the Nuggets, who had very little rim protection. This is a team with 2 legit rim defenders. One of them's 20 years old in Derek Lively. Like, Cat, you can't do that, bro. He's 7'1" with a 7' something, or with a 9'9" standing reach. Like, come on now. Can the Mavs win the chip is the big question here. I think they can. They still won in Minnesota. Even if they drop the next one, they just got to take care of business at home, and they're up 3-1. I'm really liking the way this series is turning out. I'm excited to see the adjustment that Chris Finch makes, though. With that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like button and hit that subscribe button if you did enjoy at any point. We're trying to hit 100 likes on today's video. And with all that being said, thanks so much for watching today's video.